Well, welcome back to the homestead. It's been a little while since I got a video put out, but I'm ready to start putting the hardwood flooring downstairs now. So before I can do that, I've got to do some repair work, because when I originally put my decking on the floor and then stood my walls up, it was late in the afternoon and I didn't have a handsaw with me, and I didn't cut the thresholds for like the exterior doors or the interior doors or anything. And unfortunately we had a rain that night, so the entire subfloor for the downstairs area wound up sitting underwater for most of the day. And where the seams are in the plywood, you probably can't see it right here, but I'll give you a close-up in just a second. But where those seams are, the subfloor has bowed up. So if we go to put a flat board on top of that, we're going to get a rocking, and our entire surface is going to kind of have a wavy motion to it. So we don't want that. So before I can do anything for the hardwood floor, I've got to fix the subfloor and get it ready. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to sand those seams back flat. Now, I started doing it with a little 18-inch belt sander and some 40 grit paper, and that does work, but it's pretty slow, and I'd probably wind up burning out my sander by the time I finish the entire downstairs. So in order to speed that process up, I decided to go and get a floor buffer with some 20 grit sandpaper. So it's a little more weight on the machine, it's a little bigger motor, a little higher RPMs, I believe, and it's more aggressive paper. So we're going to try doing that and see if we're able to fix these floors with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the problem is, and then we'll get started on trying to fix it. All right, so you can see where the seam on this subfloor is. It's just slightly higher than the interior area. So when you put a level across it and you push down on one side, you see you get a rocking motion there. So we don't want our floor rocking across a high point like this. So let's see if we can get that floor sander and get that sanded back down smooth. All right, well, unfortunately, looks like today is going to be a bust. So we've gone through and we've sanded the seams here in the living room, and I vacuumed all the dust up and went back, put the level on it, and it is still too much out of level. I'm not content with it. I wanted nice substrate before I start trying to put my wood floor down, or all the imperfections in that subfloor are just going to transfer right on to the actual flooring. So we've got to get this stuff level before we start working with the flooring. Like I said, when I originally went to the rental place, my intention was to rent a drum sander, and the rental company wound up talking me into getting the floor buffer with the 20 grit sandpaper instead, because it's about half the cost. I thought it would do what I needed, so I tried it. Unfortunately, there's a soft white pad between the bristles of the floor buffer and the sanding pad, and I think that's allowing too much compression. So the 20 grit paper is really just sanding the top surface everywhere. It's not concentrating on the peaks of the seam where it's pulled up. So it's really not doing what I need. I'm gonna have to go back and get a drum sander where the drum is perfectly flat all the way across, and it'll focus on the high spots until it works its way down and feathers that into the full sheet, or at least that's my intention. So rather than continuing out here with this floor sander today and wasting the rest of my day, I've got some other things I can go do. We'll get this floor sander or buffer taken back. We'll pick up a drum sander and we'll try this over again. But looks like today's gonna be a bust. So until next week, y'all just keep checking back.